and Gary Ablett wearing 4 today, but playing in left-back. Throws and a nice layoff from Beardsley sets up John Barnes, who's already crossed the halfway line. Wimbledon trying to backpedal here. Barnes on the break for Liverpool, looking for support in the penalty area, perhaps from Houghton and Aldridge. Gets the ball in, Aldridge back to goal. Brilliant goal by John Aldridge. Back to goal, over his shoulder, back of the net, and what a response from John Aldridge to the signing this week of Ian Rush. Aldridge, the man whose place has seemed to be in jeopardy ever since Rush's return on Thursday, has scored both goals now for the champions, who've come from behind in this revenge match against Wimbledon, and in the Charity Shield now it's Liverpool 2, Wimbledon 1.
Ian Rush has just asked where the reserves are playing next Saturday. That was a cracking goal, but the instigator was John Barnes, playing like a good old-fashioned winger, picking the ball up just over the halfway line in his own half. He went on a great long run and coolly crossed it. John Aldridge flicked it up with one foot and then scissor kicked it in, ironically the way the Italians wish Ian Rush had done more often last season. A good goal.
A really, really good goal. John Aldridge is more than just a simple goal poacher, I think, more than a man who taps them in from a few yards out. He showed terrific skills there. Now this is quite a moment, I think, for Ronnie Whelan. He's won just about everything in the game, but he's never really led the side to a trophy. Here he is in place of Alan Hansen, just climbing the steps here, and he will take the Charity Shield from the Countess of Harwood and will show it to the Liverpool fans, who absolutely monopolised this stadium. Turns towards the tunnel end. The Charity Shield belongs to Liverpool. That's not a bad way to launch a new season in defence of a league title.
And how pleased were you with what went on the field today?
Yeah, obviously I'm delighted scoring a couple of goals. You know, it erased a bit of the memory from last May, although, you know, as the gaffer says, you can't really write the history books, like, but it helps me personally, you know.
Did you feel you had a little bit extra to prove, given what's happened at Anfield this week?
No, the only thing I had to prove to myself, you know, was after the you know, what happened in May. It was nice to get among the goals again. You know, after the last, you know, competitive game, you know, when I missed the penalty, that hurt a lot.
But did you feel under any particular pressure when you learnt that Ian Rush had come back to Anfield?
Obviously, I'm under pressure, but all I can do is just go out, hopefully play well, and score goals, and then, you know, the decision's up to the gaff at the end of the day. There's nothing I can do about it, really. But having said that, Ian's come, he's one of the best strikers, if not the best in the world, so, you know, it's going to be very difficult, to say the least, on my behalf.
I think you probably answered the critics a little bit with that second goal that you scored. You can't have scored many better than that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. The initial run was a bit too soon. The ball went behind me and I managed to hold it up and just hook it in, yeah.
And here it's Charlton looking to make something of the game that already shows signs of being rather robustly taken away from them by a side that knows more about this game of football, of course, than perhaps any other in the business. Liverpool, an amalgam of experience. Now Aldridge, coming through on a little shot. The ball poked away and it's tucked into the net, and Aldridge has done it again. Aldridge out of something. Long ball was on the end of it. Tried a shot, beaten out, and in the end it was Aldridge once again who found the net. He got a couple of goals last week in the Charity Shield. Now he's come here to Selhurst Park, and he's done it again. It's Charlton 0, it's John Aldridge 2.
I think perhaps Ian Rush could perhaps have a holiday in Italy for a couple of weeks, couldn't he, Brian, after that? Because Barry Venison hit a great ball at 60, 70 yards, just the length of the field. I mean, Lenny Lawrence will be very disappointed that his back four were caught flat, but John Aldridge showing pace on that occasion, hit his first shot. Border did well to block it, but like a typical goal scorer, John Aldridge following up, slid in with his left foot, and 2-0, and really now it's going to be very difficult for Charlton to get back into this.
It's still Charlton in possession. Now the left back, Reid, coming into the movement a second time. His pass an obvious one. Mulby, so experienced, reads it well, and then spots Beardsley on the near side of the field. And the long ball finds Beardsley, left edge of the Charlton penalty area. Two red-shirted defenders in front of him. Up comes... Oh, and it's tucked away then. Barnes couldn't reach it. Aldridge was there, and Aldridge puts it away. And all that started from a long ball by Mulby at the back. He made the tackle, he drilled it forward, it was picked up by Beardsley. Beardsley moved forward, made his centre, Barnes swung at it. It seemed to sell Charlton's defence the perfect dummy, and it rolled on to Aldridge, who'd slipped up on the blind side. There was no man within seconds of yards of him, and he simply rolled it into an empty net. Let's get that score absolutely right. It's now Charlton 0, John Aldridge 3.
Quite amazing, isn't it? I mean, last week when he scored 2 in the FA Charity Shield, you thought, well, that's his answer. But I mean, to get a hat-trick already, and the worrying thing for Charlton supporters is still half an hour to go yet. But again, typical goal poaching. Jan Mulvey on this occasion, another 70-yard ball, caught Charlton out. Peter Beardsley, very unselfish, played it square to John Barnes. His shot was half blocked and very invitingly went across the face of the goal, and John Aldridge, if he's looking to score a hat-trick from 3 yards out, is probably as good as a distance to do it.
And we welcome you to Selhurst Park in southeast London, and what a lovely time for you to join us. You join us where the man from Juventus, Ian Rush, takes the field once more for Liverpool. Peter Beardsley goes off, shakes the hand of Rush, and I must say, great applause from the Charlton supporters as well. Good to see that in football. Cheers then all round the ground as Ian Rush walks on the field, not in the famous red, I must say, because with Charlton playing in red, it's Liverpool who've changed to their grey strip. And rather unusually, he's got a red number 12 on the back of his jersey. Ian Rush is back in business. He's been busy in the last 2.5 minutes. Ray Houghton, corners, throws, and he's got another throw. And again, it's almost on the corner flag, near side to us, down the Liverpool right. Barnes never seems to have space, then makes it all on his own. He's doing so now, comes away from 2 defenders, still feints to cross but doesn't. Now he does cross to the far post. McDonald's there, heads the ball forward, Rush is there, and Rush hits the back of the net. Ian Rush gets his first goal back for Liverpool, and the whole Liverpool team run forward. He used to do it so often. Perhaps this is the start of a new chapter, and Ian Rush now surely has put Liverpool into the 3rd round of the Little Woods Cup. But more significantly, it's his first goal. Ian Rush, Wallsall 0, Liverpool 2, and the old song now, even here at Fellows Park, Ian Rush, Ian Rush, Ian Rush.
Quickly, the ball is played out to the far side of the field to Whelan. Not a bad game for 0-0, this is. Barnes running towards the penalty area. Great run by Barnes. What a goal by John Barnes! The Kop absolutely goes berserk. It was a remarkable run by Barnes. He picked it up midway inside the Arsenal half. He turned towards goal. He just ran at the defence. They melted away, and that was John Barnes of Rio. That was the move that so dazzled the Brazilians a few years ago. That is what we want to see in the England team, and that's what Liverpool wanted and needed tonight, and they've got it. A tremendous goal by John Barnes. 20 minutes gone in the second half. Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0.
Well, isn't that exactly typical of Liverpool, being under pressure for most of the game? They've soaked it up. They've done it quite a few times, particularly in Europe, and then they come out and produce a goal like that from John Barnes, who is a most, at times, strange player. He looks so good at times and then looks so ordinary at others. Taking the ball inside his own half there, something like 50 yards, and scoring a most magnificent goal.
And Arsenal again can only play it back by Steebold. Been booked once tonight, and the ball is laid out towards us. Winterburn, square, Adams, long ball from Adams, just on the outside the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Smith finds Thomas, the shot comes in. Oh, what a goal from David Rocastle! Absolute gem, just inside the penalty area. The ball was slotted square, and Rocastle took a long look, and he belted that up into the top left-hand corner, and Michael Hooper, who's had a great match in the Liverpool goal, didn't even see it. Arsenal are back. Liverpool 1, Arsenal 1. Another gem of a goal from David Rocastle.
Well, no more than Arsenal deserved. They have played well, and they went a goal behind there, but that was a magnificent ball from Thomas.
As Liverpool goes sweeping down the other end, Houghton with the shot goes wide. Keep going, Dennis, you've got your breath.
I don't know, I nearly missed another goal. But it was a magnificent ball from Thomas there. It spliced the Liverpool defence, found Rocastle on the edge of the 18-yard line. He hit it first time. He didn't even stop it. He hit it first time, and no, I don't think any keeper in the world could have stopped that. It was an absolute beauty.
And Staunton, halfway inside the Arsenal half, left-hand side, takes the throw, and Liverpool get it infield to Aldridge. Aldridge plays it to the far side now, square to Venison. And Liverpool now almost going back to the halfway line, virtually playing it through the entire side at the moment. This will be some goal if they can round it all off. McMahon's got it, 30 yards out, jinking run from McMahon, and Thomas is there, disputing possession, winning it, giving it away. McMahon again, McMahon tries it, great goal by Steve McMahon! A fantastic strike from Steve McMahon. And we're right back on equal terms again. How typical of the Liverpool resilience that they should come back. And we have an invasion of Villa Park at the moment. Some 200 or so Liverpool fans encroach. They come onto the playing area. There are one or two still in the centre circle. But thankfully they're making their way into their seats straight away. They want this game to continue because we are still a million miles away from knowing who goes to Upton Park in the next round. It is now Arsenal 1, Liverpool 1. Steve McMahon has equalised.
Well, a great goal. Michael Thomas actually won possession off Steve McMahon, and Steve McMahon looks at Keith Hackett for a foul, and as Michael Thomas then sort of paused on the ball to see where he was going to play it, Peter Beardsley then got in a tackle and toe-ended it back to Steve McMahon. He pushed it forward as the Arsenal defence backed off, and from just outside the penalty area, 20 yards, he hit a right-footed shot that just flew in the angle, and you knew halfway there it was 1-1.
Well, Steve Bold clattered in on Peter Beardsley. Free kick to Liverpool. Beardsley himself will take it. Venison tries a run. He's lost it. Smith picks it up, but Venison comes back to make up for that mistake and finds Ablett. Ablett lays it towards us. Staunton again going down the left for Liverpool. Checks his stride this time. Changes his mind. Still finds Ablett, though. And Ablett moves just inside the Arsenal half. Drives it through the gap. Beardsley, and he'll drive it out once more to Houghton, and Houghton's menacing again, going down the right for Liverpool. Edge of the Arsenal penalty area, has to hold it. Plays it square. Aldridge will help him out. On the edge of the Arsenal area still. McMahon can't find the target again. Still keeps the possession. Houghton's inside the Arsenal penalty area. Turns away. Houghton. The header comes in. And it's there. And John Aldridge has scored for Liverpool. The ball came in from the right. It looped over. Looked not really dangerous. And John Aldridge, brought on 5 minutes before half-time for Ian Rush, scores his 9th goal. It may be enough. We now have 3 minutes to go. Arsenal 1, Liverpool 2.
Well, if ever there is a time to go ahead, 3 minutes to go, this sort of epic battle is a fantastic time from Liverpool's point of view. You just felt Arsenal were just trying to hang on, almost like a boxing match against the ropes until perhaps it's 90 minutes, and then George Graham could get at them and try and lift them. But they were just hanging on defensively, and then suddenly Ray Houghton conjured up the chance, put it across with the outside of his right foot, and John Aldridge put a sort of floating loopy header, which really John Lugic didn't have much chance with. And 2-1, I can't really see Arsenal possibly getting back into it.
Last away game of the season, and Wimbledon at the moment are just inside the Liverpool half. Krasinski hits it very, very, very high, and it's still high, and Grobbelaar this time will benefit from that, though, because it was going towards his chest, and he clears Wimbledon style quickly. One bounce. Aldridge and Rush are going in. Young's got problems here. Sagers hasn't got it. Rush turns it in, and Aldridge turns it over the line. And Liverpool have equalised. And dare I say, it was a Wimbledon-type goal. It was a long kick downfield from Bruce Grobbelaar. Big Eric Young never really came to terms with it. Sagers didn't come out. Rush and Aldridge never gave it up. And the old combination working well there. Rush setting up yet another goal for John Aldridge, his 4th goal in the last 6 days. And with Arsenal trailing at the moment, that could be a very, very hard-earned and very important point that Liverpool might be getting here now, because they're drawing 1-1, and John Aldridge has got another one.
Well, I think you said it all. It was definitely a Wimbledon-type goal, a long ball, and really Hans Sagers and Eric Young it was who got in all sorts of trouble and collided, and both really then fell on the floor, and as the ball bobbled away towards the photographers, Ian Rush scampered on and squared it across the empty goal. And John Aldridge, from 2 or 3 yards, probably hasn't scored a simpler one all season, but I shouldn't think it was any more important than that.
And again, all the players, part of the 2 goalkeepers, congregate in the middle of the park here. It's Wimbledon 1, Liverpool 1. And Barnes going forward. He's 3 Barnes here. Barnes is there, and Barnes scores for Liverpool. A glorious John Barnes move. He was much too quick in the end for Mark Kamina. Steered it carefully, watched where Sagers was, and put the ball where Sagers wasn't. And Liverpool now take the lead in gallant and elegant style. Wimbledon 1, Liverpool 2.
A supreme piece of finishing, really. Ball really fought for it on the halfway line, and it was John Barnes reacted much quicker than Mark Kamina. Took it in his stride, but he still had 50 yards to go, and he just kept it superbly under control. And as Sagers came out, flicked it with the outside of his left foot into the corner, and Liverpool 2-1, and at the moment surging forward, and it's going to be a big wrench really if Wimbledon can pull this out of the fight, because they have got their tails up, Liverpool, and you feel that they might go on and get another 1 or 2 here.
Steve, Liverpool victory, Arsenal defeat. How productive a day has this been for you?
Well, obviously it speaks volumes, but it was more important that we won. I think defeat here would have left us a bit saddened, but winning is all important, and we've got a lot of confidence from it.
Big cliche in the game as a game of 2 halves, but we had that here today, didn't we?
We certainly did. First half, we never looked like a team challenged for anything. We looked a mid-table team doing nothing. But second half, we rolled our sleeves up and got into it.
Could you just talk a little bit about the tactics, because you set out with 3 central defenders, and then you changed things at half-time, and Ian Rush came on and obviously played a big part for it.
Yeah, well, the tactics is not for me to talk about. It's the manager decides the team and the tactics. We just go out and play. Second half, it worked for us. I think it's more of attitude rather than tactics. It's how players react to different things, and we reacted a lot better second half.
I take your point, but nevertheless, John Aldridge benefited from that extra support he got from Rush, didn't he?
Well, he did. I'm sure he did. Everyone seemed to get a new lease of life. We couldn't have played any worse than we did first half, so that was a bonus. So we got on with it second half. We needed to do something, and we done it.
Did you know what was going on at Arsenal?
No, not at all. We had a few cheers towards the end, but we didn't know the extent of any results or anything. So it's not a case of how they get on, it's a case of how we get on.
It has been a very good 6 days for you, hasn't it?
It's been a very good season up to now, but it could all change within a matter of a week. So you don't count your chickens, and you got to keep grafting right to the end. It could change in the next 6 days, it could change the other way.
Final question, will the manager's voice last the pace? He's lost it tonight, I think. He's croaking away there.
He sounds like the Godfather, and he's been like that for the last 2 weeks. He recovers after a couple of days training, and then it goes again on match days. But the sooner it goes, the better anyway. Can't keep shouting at us all.
And we only have about 10 seconds of time to be played in the first half. No injury time at all to be added on as Staunton sweeps in the cross. Barnes has it forward. Aldridge is there! And Aldridge puts it in the back of the net! And Liverpool, with just 1 second left of the first half, take a vital, crucial lead. And who was it? John Aldridge, yet again scoring his 27th goal of the season. Perhaps the last touch of the first half, a crucial psychological time for Liverpool to score a goal. Rangers just caught napping for the first time, and Liverpool on their way perhaps now to go top of the First Division. It's Liverpool 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0.
Lays it out short to Hansen. Hansen running towards the halfway line. Hansen seems to have so much time tonight, so much room. They've only got 1 striker to mark, Hansen and Ablett. Ablett seems to be doing most of the marking, and Hansen is free to come forward. McMahon now from the Beardsley layoff, just outside the penalty area, now inside the penalty area. Back to Whelan, chance for the shot, shoots right footed, great goal! Ronnie Whelan with his 4th goal of the season, beautifully hit, right footed from 20 yards. Liverpool wanted a second goal, they've got it, it was a glorious move. Liverpool 2, Queen's Park Rangers 0.
It was the weight of pressure that finally told, because when McMahon made the run there on the left-hand side, he checked back. The Rangers' 3 central defenders stood off. When the ball was played out to Whelan, they still stood off. Consequently, Whelan finished it off. In the first half, one of them would have come and closed that down. But I think it was just the weight of pressure that finally told. You know, I think they've been rocked back on the heels, and they got punished for it.
Neville Southall clears downfield. Sharp is beaten to it. Hansen was first to the ball. All Scottish confrontation there. Now it's in the centre circle. and cut beautifully to the near side for Kevin Sheedy. Sheedy kills it with his left foot, and then a poor ball from him, easily cut out by Steve Nicol, and Liverpool again now trying to cross the halfway line. Nicol with his right foot, excellent ball for McMahon. McMahon slips it through for Aldridge, and Aldridge scores for Liverpool! An unbelievable start to the match. I'm almost certain that that was John Aldridge's first touch of the whole final. The man who missed the penalty in last year's final against Wimbledon, John Aldridge, playing for the 100th time for his club today, the bookies' favourite to score the first goal, and he's done just that. John Aldridge yet again for Liverpool, altogether his 30th goal of the season. Liverpool 1, Everton 0.
Southall, a long clearance from him. And then it'll flick on. Everton have the possession. Sharp finds Nevin. Nevin on the edge of the area. Ball goes to Watson. He drives it there. And it's there. And Stuart McCall has equalised for Everton in what is the last 5 seconds of the half. Unbelievable stuff here. Nevin set it up. The cross came in. Robillard saved it. And Stuart McCall hammered it into an empty net. Liverpool 1, Everton 1, and we're in now, I would have thought, extra time.
Steve Nicol still full of running over on the far side, going across to take it, and throwing it over John Barnes for Beardsley, and Beardsley's just tackled on the edge of the area by McDonald. It's back again in the sunshine, over on the far side again with Nicol. Nicol, chip ball this time, rushes there, swivels, turns, scores! Brilliant goal! And Merseyside history is created at Wembley by Ian Rush, who puts Liverpool not only back into the lead here in the cup final, but breaks the record set by the legendary Dixie Dean of scoring now 20 goals in Merseyside derbies. It has not been Ian Rush's season since he returned from Juventus, but now it's ending on a high for him, because Rush has come on as a substitute, and after 5 minutes into extra time, puts Liverpool back in the front with a swivel and a crushing finish. Liverpool 2, Everton 1. Everton have got a free kick, and we've got 3 minutes left of this first period of extra time, and Trevor Stephen and Stuart McCall congregating around the ball. It's about 15 yards inside the Liverpool half. They've taken it, but Joe Worrell wants them to come back another couple of yards. He's been a stickler for that throughout the game, but he's been consistent, that's the main thing. And Kevin Ratcliffe makes a mark and prepares to take the free kick. McDonald makes a run to the far side. Ratcliffe, though, goes straight down the centre. Hansen rises, finds McCall, though. McCall shot, equalising goal for Everton! And what a sweet volley from Stuart McCall from 20 yards. Bruce Grobbelaar couldn't do anything about it. What a substitution. McCall gets the first equaliser. 5 seconds to go in normal time. And following that free kick, which Liverpool didn't get away cleanly, McCall, with 3 minutes to go in the first period of extra time, has scored again. It's Liverpool 2, Everton 2. Well, you said earlier in the commentary, Jimmy, that Bruce hadn't been off his feet here today. He has now, twice. And McCall's made him do that. He made him pick the ball out of the back of the net twice. Are we heading, I wonder, for Thursday, June the 8th? Personally, I hope not. Let's hope it's settled here today, because we don't want this one to continue for another fortnight or so. I think it's all set up really for a finish here today with these 82,000 people on this glorious day. Fiercely competitive game. Everton again, well, back in it now. Perhaps they've got the initiative again, but Liverpool still showing great character. Barnes to Rush, and Rush has scored another goal with his head. And I don't believe it. Within a minute and a half of Everton equalising for the second time, John Barnes breaks down the left, delivers the cross, a little crouch from Ian Rush, and a header past Neville Southall. And not only has he broken that Dixie Dean record, he's gone even one past him now. He's now scored 21 goals in Merseyside derbies. Spectacular substitutions in this final. 2 goals from McCall, a substitute. 2 goals from Rush, a substitute. And Liverpool lead here by 3 goals to 2.
It was interesting from my point of view to see what effect that
hard cup final was going to have on Liverpool. It doesn't seem to have had a great deal of effect. They've started very brightly and started to knock the ball around with a lot of confidence.
Whelan to McMahon, running towards the West Ham penalty area, Russian space, but McMahon doesn't spot him. Now it's with Whelan, out to Barnes, left side of the penalty area, takes Paris on the outside, beats him, plenty of room for Barnes to get the cross in, and it's Aldridge for Liverpool! His 31st goal of the season, such a vital one. 6 vital goals in the last 5 games, and the 7th now tonight. John Aldridge stabbing it home, right-footed from no more than a couple of yards. That is the Predators' instinct, the goal-scoring art. John Aldridge, Liverpool 1, West Ham 0.
Ince, Resignor gets the ball back once more, lays it square. Good running by Ward down the ref. Cross comes in from him, the header comes in from Resignor, and West Ham have equalised. Lovely running by Mark Ward down the right. The cross was perfect, Resignor was perfect too. The header straight past Bruce Grobbelaar. We have had almost half an hour of the first half, and West Ham, to the delight of their supporters away to the left, are back on equal terms. We've got a match again now. Liverpool 1, West Ham 1.
Houghton running towards the West Ham penalty area, takes on Gale, beats him, chance for Ray Houghton. Houghton has scored! The cop rises. Ray Houghton's 7th goal of the season. He took Gale on. Gale seemed to stumble. Houghton got free to the right of the West Ham defender and played the ball left-footed past McKnight from 10 yards. Liverpool 2, West Ham 1, and that could be a very significant scoreline.
Barnes, 10 yards inside the half, another return ball to Beardsley. Again, good work though, but and then Dick spoils his good work by giving it to Beardsley. A chance here for Houghton. Houghton's there, and Houghton makes it 3-1. Crowns a superb evening. A mistake by Julian Dix. He let in Peter Beardsley. Beardsley crossed to Houghton. Houghton dummied the goalkeeper, fired it home at the Kop end. The Kop loving it now, and possibly 2 hands of Liverpool are on the championship trophy. It could be the double yet again. Liverpool 3, West Ham 1. I fear now for West Ham. He's got the ball now, Rush, and he feints and he goes through. Ian Rush is there. Oh, what a goal from Ian Rush! That was class and style if you've seen it. Set up splendidly by the young fullback Ablett. He dummied away from the defender. He looked like a practice game. It wasn't. It was for real. Ian Rush may well have won the championship for Liverpool tonight, regardless now, I think, what Arsenal do here on Friday. Liverpool 4, West Ham 1, and the name is Ian Rush. Liverpool take the corner quickly, laid square to Barnes. Barnes on the edge of the West Ham penalty area. There's danger again. Barnes with a shot, takes a deflection. 5-1 to Liverpool. Barnes took the shot. It took a deflection off George Paris, and poor McKnight was nowhere. And Arsenal now, I think, may close their ears for the rest of the commentary, because Liverpool lead 5-1. Well, by my watch, we're now actually in injury time, but I'm sure a little bit will be added on as the ball is touched back to Grobbelaar, and there will be a great crescendo in the last few seconds, I'm certain, from both sets of supporters, as the ball again is played deep inside the Arsenal half. Bounces high. Underneath it is Steve Nicol for Liverpool. To Barnes of Liverpool. To Beardsley, but he couldn't get hold of it. Adams is there. Barnes beats Adams. Barnes just outside the Arsenal penalty area, drags the ball away from Adams. Barnes is still there, and he can't get round Richardson, who's recovered, or he's still limping though quite heavily, and recovered enough at least to play it back to Lukic. Out it goes to Lee Dixon. Long ball from Lee Dixon. Smith will hold it up, plays it square to Thomas, and Thomas goes inside Nicol, and Thomas is there, and Thomas has scored for Arsenal in injury time. Michael Thomas has scored for Arsenal.